Hello and welcome to the Tales of the Macabre and Bizarre,
where the lights are fake and the marshmallows are free. This is a story called The Never-Ending Road. Now, legends say, or folklore says, that there is a road called Lester Road in Corona, California, that many people have gone through and they've disappeared. According to the folklore, is that it's a long and winding road. This was back about 20 years ago. That it was long and winding and kind of depressing in a way, just a lot of trees. And people would drive down this road and they wouldn't be seen or heard from again. And it's happened so many times, it's like over about a dozen people have disappeared on this road that police started investigating. Now, upon further investigating of this road, the way the road is constructed is that it has a sharp right at the end of the road, but when you're driving down, actually, that'll come later. According to the creepypasta, it was a sharp right on the road, but when you're driving down and you stare at the road, it looks like the road just goes straight, but it actually does. It has a sharp turn. There's actually a ravine, and then the road continues on the other side. So police went into, investigate it further. Come to find out that they found over a dozen cars at the bottom of the ravine. And not only they found the wrecked cars down there, they found decomposing bodies in each of the cars. So what they did was they had shut down that part of the road. Over the past 20 years, they've changed the landscape, so now it has warning signs to make the turn, so that way they don't have any accidents anymore.
After reading this story and looking up more information about it, the original folklore story or creepypasta said that this took place in Corona, California. However, whenever looking up the creepypasta and the Never-Ending Road, we couldn't find any information about a road existing like this in Corona, California. So as I was looking up even more and more, I came across some information saying that the story is actually an abbreviation and a portrayal of events that occurred in Arlington, Texas. Now, if you guys remember our last episode, we had talked in length about Arlington, Texas, and some of the creepy things that happened there on a certain road that was very long that sat next to train tracks and a ravine. So there were cars that were recovered from the ravine after the sheriff's office and the police department looked into these incidents. Now, I'm not saying that the stories are connected. However, it does seem that this long road next to a ravine could have been the very same road which is known as Greenbelt Road in Arlington, Texas. After the research that we had done in the last episode and the research that we did on this story, it seems too coincidental. It seems too tied in for it to be a coincidence, is what I meant to say. It's a long dirt road that has lots of foliage. It's not well lit, and it's right next to a ravine. If you're going at a certain speed, you're going to go off of it and go into the ravine. It's also mentioned that this road has been altered since, even in the folklore, and Greenbelt Road had been altered and changed due to all of the accidents that were there. So for all of the information that we're getting and that it's tying in, it seems like they're talking about the same road that the Screaming Bridge is on in Arlington, Texas.
So I did some further research on this also, and I ran across this person named James Donahue who actually did some research on Lester Road. Come to find out, it's not in Corona, California, but it's in the northwestern state of Washington. There's a road up there that turned sharp, but instead of going right, they went left. And it was the ravine, and that's where they had found the cars with the bodies inside them. So again, like, a lot of this research was, done by others, and this guy James Donahue, who I'm going to give credit for on this, did more of the research than what anyone else has. So, and it was the same deal. It was a windy road, and you could see the road on the other side where you couldn't see the ravine. Also, upon further investigation, he had asked several residences of Corona, and none of them ever recalled a Lester Road or a road where people would disappear without a trace.
One of the things that I see interesting with this urban legend or myth or folklore is the fact that police didn't decide to investigate until after hearing the story or the folklore. Typically, wouldn't a police department start to investigate if most people of a town are going missing and not showing up and coming back? You would think that there would be an ongoing investigation for multiple people, dozens in fact, going missing or not coming home or just never turning up. So it's questionable as to why they would only investigate after hearing the folklore of a never-ending road. Also, after doing more research, Corona, California, there's only one place that could be called a canyon technically, and it's the southeast of town center. And there are no streets going to the canyon from the direction of town, which would be more of a highway, and there's no street on the other side of it. So it would not give the certain illusion of there being a never-ending road. Is that there's no road on the other side of the canyon and there's no street there. It's only small residential streets. More importantly, there's definitely nothing that could be mistaken as a highway, even remotely close to that road. After doing even more research, I came across a Lester Avenue that was in Corona, California, or still is in Corona, California. It's 4150 Lester Avenue, Corona, California. And I went to it with Google Maps and I was looking at it from Street View, and going down the road, there's no evidence of any cliffs or ravines at all down this whole entire road. It's all residential area. It's a very small street. It's nothing that resembles a highway at all. And it just ends abruptly at a chain link fence that looks like some type of like government property or like owned by a company or something. It's just flat. It's just flat land. It's just completely like, it's just field that goes on till almost the mountains, it seems. There's no evidence at all that seems like it ever dropped off at any type of cliff. And it doesn't even curve. The street doesn't turn at all. It's just a straight road to a chain link fence.
And then so I looked further into the Washington side for Lester Road, and there is a Lester Road, but it's all flatland. It's just fields of farmland, and it's just flat. There's showing nothing of like any sharp turns or any ravines or anything like that.
I don't believe that it's real, and I don't believe that it's fake. I do, however, believe that this story was conceived of multiple different stories, that they have gotten their information from different cities, different stories, different origins, and have made their own creepypasta or folklore out of it. It's a good story, it's a good read, but I don't think that it's real.
I agree, because it kind of seems almost similar to our first story on our first episode, just changed a bit to make it look like, you know, it may have been in a different state or anything like that. So yeah, I can't say that it's real, or I can't say that it's fake.
If you want to do your own research and try to find your own information on whether it's real or fake, definitely comment down below and let us know. But we've looked into it, and this is all that's coming up for us. So, and there's no records or names that have been released to the public on any of these victims' names that were in said ravine in Corona, California. And typically whenever something like that happens, especially if it's years and years ago, like in 1960s-ish, it would definitely have showed up. It would definitely have at least one name would be released. However, if you remember, our other story took place in 1961, and we had names and ages and dates. So it's pretty convincing that these stories might be tied. However, I don't think that this story on its own is real.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think, definitely in the comments down below. And yeah, subscribe if you want more Macabre and Bizarre.
So with that, hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.